Left-Wing Kingz. Listen, think, act, repeat.
Welcome to the Left-Wing King podcast. Today we are talking about Khloe Kardashian being a brat. We're talking about a new House Speaker, Mike Johnson, and we're going to get down on voting. All right. I want to thank all of our listeners on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Google, the whole nine. I also want to thank everybody for watching this live stream on Facebook and YouTube. Now, please feel free to post a comment and we'll share it during the live stream, or we'll just go ahead and place it on screen or whatever. Now, in case you didn't know, I'm your head moderator in charge of HMIC Malik. I'm joined today by my queen, Walanda.
What up?
The other queen, Queen Tina.
What up? What up?
King Ace.
What it do?
And myself. Okay, so let's go ahead and get it cracking. Khloe Kardashian recently posted some pics of herself dressed up as a Bratz doll for Halloween. Now, her skin tone was, I'd say, a tad darker. Maybe a lot darker. Her skin tone was darker than normal, okay? And many people on social media accused her of blackfishing with her costume. So, Walanda, what the hell is blackfishing? And tell us your take on this whole thing.
All right, so let's go ahead and define as far as blackfishing. It can be seen as a form of cultural appropriation or an attempt to deceive others about one's identity. Now, some of us may see it as emulation, as far as in a positive light, like they want to be like us. So, hey, come join the party. And some find it very, very offensive. The reason for the offensive part is that Black women, we're not a cosplay. You don't get to dress up like me, but then not assume all the struggles and the situations that I go into. So that's where I want to say where people get offended by that. Frustration also comes when, white women who appear to be posing as Black, then it seems like it's more accepting. Because as we know, back in the day, when most women have, or people of color have, fuller lips, we have wider hips, we have bigger, badunkadunks, you know what I'm saying? Features. You know what I mean? And that used to be seen as negative. Like, why do you look like that? But now you want to be me and look like me. So again, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I go back and forth. The Kardashians, I think, are different from some of the influences that I see. I do believe that she loves her children who happen to be, they're biracial. I've known from what I know about the Kardashians anyway, they've always been kind of around Black people in general. So maybe she's not trying to emulate me. That really is her. The darkening of the skin is a little concerning to me. Why you all of a sudden want to be tan? First we were too Black. Now everybody want to look a little bit brown skinned is a concern, and just not being able to assume the same struggles that we do. Like you said, you can take off the makeup, you can remove your butt, you can remove the implants, but I am who I am each and every day. And you may not have the same experiences as me. So that's my take.
That's a pretty good take. I'm just going to play devil's advocate. Mm-hmm. Was she darkening her skin to blackfish, or was she darkening her skin because it was part of the costume?
But wouldn't that be like blackface? Because if we took a white person and they put I don't know what they use, like shining, like I guess the stuff you shine your shoes with. I think that's what they use on their face. That's polish. Highly shoe polish. That's what they use.
That's what they used to use.
They used to put that on their face
when they were blackfacing.
Right, and that's offensive. We all know that you get fired behind those kind of acts. Right. So why does it make it her okay? Just like I guess in my experience, well, not the same thing, but I was Barbie for Halloween, but there's a different variations of Barbie.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So I would never paint myself white. And put blonde hair. Well, blonde hair, I take it back because Black people wear blonde hair too now. But you know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't try to emulate anything that I'm not, as far as I don't know.
How do you think Black people would feel if we did that? If we did the white thing?
We did do that.
No, what Black people? I don't care about the white people, because it's the Black people that are going off on the Kardashians.
Right. So I think it's our experiences drive the conversation. I think it's what it is to be Black in America, in a sense that
thank you, Malik,
people find offensive. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't take this off. I don't.
We can't
nothing,
take it off.
Yeah, I don't get to switch out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and say, Tuesday, Thursday, I'm going to rock this look today, and this is who I am. Versus they get that opportunity. And are you doing it in a malicious intent? I don't think. I don't think the Kardashian it's malicious at one point. As far as like doing blackface and putting, shoe shine stuff on your face to look at us and do a little jig, to make fun. But I think you're getting influences, right? So they're doing it for the power and the social media clout. And I think you're taking away from other Black influencers by why you do that. It's more accepting when she does it, but not a real Black woman that's out there. Like, why are her followers less? And she literally looks like that every day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And with the Kardashians, they are Armenian, so they do naturally tan pretty well without having to do that. So, I'm not sure how I feel. Huh?
I never knew the hell
They're Armenian, but
They're Armenian.
I don't know how they tan or how they, but I know that they are
Armenians
in
are white,
like Asia, like Eurasia, and they near the Caucasus Mountains. They ain't near like, so that sound Caucasian to me.
But my thing is I went and read probably 1,000 of the comments that were on that Instagram post, and we were mean, and I understand they're enraged because of everything you explained, but they've been doing this for years. That makes it right. It don't make it right, but they've been doing this for years. They have the
You've been complaining about it for years
too. So was this was it a Blackfish, or was it truly a marketing ploy?
I think it was both.
Yeah.
I think
everything.
I'll put you like this. Bratz could find a Hispanic, because I think she was supposed to be the Hispanic one. Bratz could find a Hispanic that could have dressed up like that and put her in there and had her do that. She didn't have to tan herself like that, and she over tanned herself for Hispanic, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, but I think my take on it is, it's pretty close to blackface, right? I think it's the new blackface, but the problem is, when blackface was a thing, nothing about being Black was looked at as a positive thing.
Right.
Now, having luscious lips, having a fat ass, so however you want to say
thighs,
it, thick thighs, that skin, all of those things are positives now. So that kind of like shifts it from blackface, because blackface back in the day was all just negative. I'm just gonna go out there and shuck and jive and act like I'm a stupid Black
they
person.
were clowning us.
Right, exactly. Where
Singing
now it's like, hey,
man.
I like these features that Black people have, so I want those too. The problem with it is you're taking all of our good qualities and you're abandoning all the problems that come with being Black. Right? I could take, like, to your point, I could take off this lipstick and this tanner, and then I could walk outside and be totally white. I ain't got to worry about the police. I ain't got to worry about walking in the store and people following me. I ain't got to worry about, any of the negative things that come with being Black. But I'm going to steal all the positive things about being Black. I think that's what makes people mad about blackfishing.
Let me get on another side of this and just look at it from this angle. I mean, the Wayans brothers made a whole movie dressed up as white girls.
Oh, white chicks.
Oh yeah, white chicks.
White chicks.
I mean, and
did white people make a big deal about it? I don't think they thought it was funny.
I don't think, not really. I mean, we didn't hear anything. And all I'm saying is, I hear what you're saying about.
There's a difference of being a parody.
Yeah,
and going out there and trying to live.
I don't think Kim came out. And
she don't just do it for Halloween.
I'm just saying, but I don't
this
think
is one example. Like you said, they've been doing it forever.
Yeah,
but I don't think Kim came out and was like,
Khloe.
Well, it was both of them.
It's both of them, I think.
Yeah, they both dressed as Bratz.
Yeah, so when they came out, I don't think the intention was like, hey,
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Nothing like that.
Because, like Yolanda said, their children are Black, their children are biracial, and a couple maybe months ago or so, Kim Kardashian had to do a whole interview because we were enraged that she cornrowed her hair. Well, we don't know that we didn't know that she cornrowed her hair not to try to be Black or not to try to, disparage us. Her daughter said, "Mommy, let's do our hair the same." So she wanted to follow what her daughter was saying. And then after she got all the outrage, she was very emotional about it too. She was like, now do I have to worry about how do I explain to my daughter that Mommy can't do that because I'm not from Black descent? I don't even know if Armenian is or not. I don't know. But are they trying to set up more generational wealth for their Black children by getting the Black followers? There's no such thing as bad press no more, especially now with social media.
Nope.
Because guess what? We're going to go on there because Black people are acting up, and we're going to be. So we're just adding to the
That's just
influence.
like when people make like
I always-
comments on our videos, and they all mad, and
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's 1,000 comments, so
Thank you. Yeah.
exactly. Ain't
And-
no such thing as bad press.
And I always tell
Bad
people
engagement.
because I follow them, that their trash TV is very entertaining to me. I always tell people, why are you on this post talking about this? Don't you realize your negativity is helping them?
Mhm.
Get
Yeah.
off this, just scroll by. Everybody has
Yeah.
the opportunity. If you don't like it, scroll by.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to add to the flame and the fire, just like with y'all's ex-president doing all that. We were
Yeah.
on there just giving him all the
Mhm.
hype. We don't need to do that. If people understood what social media and marketing was, they wouldn't do that. They're helping them.
I want to kind of get back to your point, Adrian, real quick about like intent.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think her intent was to be negative in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't excuse it. It's just like a white guy. He's the boss. He's got friends. He got people. He has to put out a opening for a position at a job somewhere.
Mhm.
His friends apply for that job, and you apply for that job. You got all the credentials. You better. He's not trying to hurt you purposefully, but he wants to help his friend.
Right.
So he hires his friend over you. Does that make it right? No, hell no, it ain't right.
That's that
But it's not
nepotism.
about the intent. It's about the action, and the action is wrong.
Right. Well, I'll say it does create a dangerous paradox by, celebrating Black beauty and aesthetics, but only when highlighted by white people.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's my concern. I just don't want you to think that, because she did it, so
Right. Now it's pretty to have big
acceptable.
lips and
You know,
skin.
Mhm.
I don't know if everybody in back in the day, and it's probably more Black females probably experience this, but I would get comments like, you're pretty for a Black girl.
Yes.
Like what is that a compliment?
Yeah.
Because I don't take that as complimentary.
No.
You know what I mean? Like based upon what is defined as beauty, and it hasn't been defined by us. But now you want to look like us, and because it's somebody who doesn't look like me, now it's acceptable. And that's my concern. Just using Black culture for social currency and for clout. And again, how is it impacting our Black influencers? Are they getting as much clout as somebody who is Blackfishing? You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
that's what I would want to look at and see.
I mean,
How's it impacting them?
yeah, I mean, but I guess what I'm trying to get down to are we doing this just because it's Kim Kardashian doing it? You know what I mean? Like, is it a big deal because of that?
There's other ones.
Because I mean, I think that when it comes to her relationship with the Black community,
Mm.
especially with Black women, there's kind of a little bit of hatred. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
For some reason, people don't like her.
Yeah.
Some people don't like the Kardashians.
You know how many comments said, "Why y'all messing with her? You know she's OJ's daughter."
That's wrong,
She
boy.
really is Black.
That's wrong.
Could be.
So-
She
What if
ain't Black at all.
Yeah.
Did you see the pictures of her without her
Oh
makeup?
yeah, she
Oh,
did look
yeah.
horrible.
She ain't Black.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, oh.
Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah.
and like I said, and I just, don't get me wrong. A lot of stuff y'all say I agree with, but I'm just trying to really also bring out some other ways that you can kind of look at it.
So there's a
Oh,
long
absolutely.
list of people who are accused of blackfishing.
Mhm.
I mean, Welonda's got a list.
Yeah, I
So
got a
I don't think
couple
it's that. I think it's
Yeah.
just the blackfishing. People.
Yeah, this is BBC.com, so you can actually go look it up and
The
find
British
out
had to
these people.
find that.
BBC, and there's a lot of them, like from different countries.
Mhm.
So I cannot say her name correctly, probably, but it's Aga Brzezowska,
Who is
and
that?
she's referred to as Alicia. She's a white Instagram influencer. If you look her up, I thought she was Black. She had dark skin, full lips, bigger thighs. I think she's gotten some done. Her butt, her hairstyle includes curls and braids. And we all know, like in the workplace, when we get our hair braided or we have locks, that seem to be as unclean or untidy, but she can do it and rock it. And so she's got a lot of followers. In Sweden, a lady named Emma Hallberg, she has 260,000 Instagram followers. And she's supposed to be one of the most influential on Instagram. So you might want to check her out as well.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
I know you've heard of Iggy. Iggy's been considered as blackfishing. Ariana Grande
Mhm.
at a point. Who's the girl who played?
Ariana Grande.
Mhm. Yep. The
She
one who
doing a-
played
she doing a
Aaliyah.
bad job at it.
No, she's half black, isn't she?
Mhm.
The one who played Aaliyah in that
Mhm.
one, she was. But it's just people who
Remember
in
the
general.
white lady who
Who's the
was
rapper?
with
Is that
the
Iggy?
NAACP.
the NAACP?
Okay, I talked about her.
That's blackfishing like
Uh-uh.
She got a
Let-
whole position.
Let me tell you why we said she wasn't blackfishing. Let me tell you why we figured out. Because first I said that to Malik too. I said, "What is that lady who was head of the NAACP?" And she came out as, actually her
If
parents
that ain't
outed her
blackfishing,
out.
what's
Well,
blackfishing?
The reason I
see.
say it's not is because she is enduring the fight for Black people. She is head of the NAACP fighting for us. So I felt like she really lived the life, but she never said that she was white. Only people out, the way she got outed was her parents said, I'm white, he white, that's my kid. I don't know what happened.
They couldn't take it no more.
She had an identity
We
crisis.
do with the lie.
Right. But that's how she wanted to live. And she did probably was called the N-word before, or called this and that. She lived.
She was living as a black person.
woman.
She wasn't trying to
That's only
steal the attributes of a black person for when she needed them to use them for her own gain and to win off that. She was like, okay, I'm gonna pretend to be black, but I'm gonna go all in. I'm black all the time.
All the time.
And you gonna call me a nigga? I'm gonna call myself my nigga.
Yeah.
I mean, she
said she went all in.
She went all in on being black, nigga. She took the whole 9. So I'm like, okay. So I don't know if she's blackfishing. To her point, that makes me think like, okay, she could have been. She was blackfishing. But blackfishing with purpose? I don't know. Like,
with purpose.
I don't know.
Well, she got a whole job out of it, right?
You know, she was in the NAACP.
Does
that blackfish?
Was there ever a white person that was
They ain't
head of
even
the
in the
NAACP?
But her.
Yeah. So did she use
But she wasn't the head. She was the head in her
department.
area. But still,
she was high up.
Right.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm
I don't
kind of
know.
with you.
It's like you got to tread lightly on that. That's something. I don't know if it's blackfish, but
with
it's
a purpose.
Yeah.
I want that ass whooping too.
Yeah, I'll take one. You know,
arrest me.
You
know, I'm black too.
Basically.
The hell? That's funny, man.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Blackfishing, you know, and I'm eating, man. I didn't even know that was a word that existed. I was like, blackfish.
Yeah. I had never heard it either. Or if I had, I didn't put no value to it.
I grew up with a couple of homies
like
who was blackfishing,
but for black people. I was like, oh, that's the thing.
That's what they call that?
Yeah.
Acting black? It was called acting black.
Right.
And once again, I don't think it's acting black.
But what is acting black?
I don't even think it's acting black. I think it's taking the attributes and like changing the way that you like. To me, you change the way you look. You change like yourself. You change in everything. It's about visualization. I don't think it's about like I was born around some black folks, so that's how I talk.
So Vanilla Ice is blackfishing and shit. Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla.
I don't know. I guess so.
Hold on, stop.
Yeah, he had the box, he had the clothes.
Yeah,
maybe he was
dancing like Hammer. He was dancing like MC Hammer and shit.
You know what I'm
but
saying?
I think they were trying to that would have been blackfishing because they're using it as a marketing ploy to attract who?
And
black
sales, attract black.
For why we would be engaged in his music.
Right. And make it okay as a white person.
Right.
Like now I'm making this haircut and all this stuff okay because I'm white and I say it's okay.
I can't think of the girl's name. I didn't write it down.
He lost me on Word to Your Mother. That's all I was like, what? We don't talk
the girl
like
that
that.
Catch Me Outside girl. She's blackfishing. If you look her up now, she's gorgeous though. I was like, that ain't even you. The girl that was like, Catch Me Outside. How about that?
Don't
Catch
she got
Me
an
Outside.
album or something?
Yeah, she raps now. I can't think of her name. I'm sorry. Catch Me Outside. That girl, look her up now.
What
she
was
looks
on?
black.
She was on a talk show.
She was on a talk show.
And she said,
and she was acting crazy. Catch me outside.
She was going to fight.
How about that? How about that?
A reality show, something like that?
Yeah. Y'all remember, you'll see her and you remember her, but same thing. So now she raps.
Unless it's Naked and Afraid. That's the only one I kind of mess with.
Nah, this was more like a talk show, like Oprah or
she
something.
was on Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil, because her parent was trying to get a hold of her and she was bad. And she's a little white girl.
Her parent couldn't control her. She was just ghetto, ghetto as hell, just going in on everybody.
Catch him outside.
Yeah, she was talking to the audience.
She talking
Catch me outside. How about that? And then they made a song about it. It was a viral song, bro. It was like on social media. They made a song.
I completely missed that.
You missed that.
Man, it was big.
I'm telling you, that trash TV is entertaining.
I'm gonna find
Catch Me Outside.
I gotta see her, but she's pretty now.
Yeah, she's real pretty.
She's real pretty now. Okay, this was her originally. She's called Bad Baby now. Look her up because now she's an artist, and she don't.
Look at how she
caught
on to that phrase
well, I'm telling
real quick.
So
with
the
Sexy Red, I think I'm
blackfishing
through
thing,
with
do y'all
new
think
rappers.
Kris Jenner has anything to do with that? The momager?
Nah.
Oh, you said Jenner. I got lost. He ain't blackfishing, is he? That ain't,
Not yet.
That ain't the new definition.
No. We'll see if he gets
it. All right.
What was her name? Bad Baby?
Bad Baby. BHAD and then baby.
Hey, while they looking that up, I want to just remind you guys, like if you're enjoying this conversation that we're having, go ahead and like this video and make sure that you subscribe so that you can see content like this every single week,
Oh.
all week long.
You see
All right.
Oh.
So, yeah, you see the pictures of the bad baby.
Mm-hmm.
What's the verdict?
See, look, that used to be her.
Blackfishing or not?
But there's a,
Mm.
Look at that.
I don't
Look,
know.
she went all out to
She did.
highlight our high
High
cheekbones.
Look, she ain't
and
blackfishing,
her
she
everything.
black
breasts,
sharking,
her-
nigga.
yeah.
Yes.
Went and
She
bought the
don't
fake
even-
pony. She had that fake
Yeah,
pony
she
all
got
the
a
way out
fake
to a
pony.
She got a
Yeah.
badunkadunk.
Yeah.
I
So
love it.
everything that white people used to despise of us 100 years ago, not even
Wanna be
100
us.
years ago, less than 100 years ago, is everything that their children and grandchildren
Love.
are trying to be and
They
love.
love it. And that's the thing about it. We talked about this. Being black is cool. I'm sorry.
It
Yeah.
is.
Okay. It's the end thing, it's the cool thing to be. But like I said,
Until they have to struggle.
until it's
So you gotta
something
get a
like,
job.
and that's
That's
what's
just
wrong with
cool.
blackfishing right there.
Yes.
I want to be like a black person because I think black people are cool, but hey, ho, I ain't gonna join the NAACP now. I ain't gonna go fight out there these fights that you
Yeah.
fighting. Now that
They
don't
still
get it
don't got
twisted.
rights.
There are white people who march with us, fight with
Mhm.
us, and,
Oh,
and they
yeah.
live their own life as white people. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem with white people supporting black people, but I have a problem with stealing our cultural identity and then doing nothing to help us.
Right.
Okay?
You're benefiting off of it.
Yeah.
And really, to me, it's like a cultural appropriation, like magnified.
Mhm.
Because Cambridge Dictionary, act of taking or using things from a culture that is not your own, especially without showing that you understand or respect the culture. So to
Cultural
me, if you don't,
appropriation. That's what that is.
basically what it, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
what
Again, you're
blackfishing is.
benefiting off of us, but don't really want to be us. You want to be us sometimes. So you can't, if you got to go all in like the one lady. Join the NAACP.
Get a
Then we won't
position.
talk about you.
Get a
Get a
position.
position.
Get a
Yeah.
position. Then
Join
Yeah.
your
you
local
can join.
chapter.
Yes.
Yeah.
But other than that,
It'll be interesting to see what they do to market the backlash.
They about
'Cause
to
you
open
know-
up a Bratz line. That's what you want the
They already,
Kardashians?
I think they're
They about to
promoting
have their
and they have
whole
their own
Bratz
thing.
They're
line. That's what
probably
they're about to
trying
do.
to get it
Mhm.
back at popular because it was
Yeah.
popular in the early 2000s.
but they had big heads. I never liked them. Their
Yeah.
heads were too big. I said, wow.
Well, I mean,
was
you know,
funny.
speaking of-
was that fun? Like,
I thought that Bratz was kind of bought out to like almost a shot at Barbie. Like, hey, you know, these are for ethnic children.
Ethnic.
That's
Yes.
what they like.
Yep.
Yes, that's what it was. But Mattel was trying to do every ethnicity because
They
you
did,
have
yeah.
Hispanic Barbie, you have Black Barbie,
Hawaiian,
you have
Asian.
But this one had
Asian Barbie.
features though compared
Yeah,
to Barbie
well,
was just a
yeah.
chocolate colored white girl. And the
Right.
other one was a
Basically, you're right.
You're
Tan
right.
color.
They just,
Right,
they
right.
just dyed
Yeah,
the
they just
plastic
dyed
of
the
straight
white
white
hair,
Barbie.
straight
and
hair and
put a-
everything. You know?
Yeah.
No, they
Yeah.
had
Oh,
some
she had
with little
little
curls.
She had a,
curls.
you know, she had a
Uh-huh.
pearl.
Nah, she
And
she had a
that,
pearl.
you know, and she had
She
an
wouldn't got hair,
afro,
she wouldn't bald hair,
afro
you know what I'm
wig. And they made wigs for Barbie. I had it both, so
Yeah. Well, I know this is a great conversation, but I want to move on. Speaking of big head brats,
Oh,
we got a new speaker of the house, people.
Oh,
So,
geez.
Speaker Mike Johnson. He's a staunch Republican conservative who has embraced the far right. He hugs it, he loves it, and he takes all their policies and he puts them up in a nice little gift and gives them to all of us. Okay. So
Mhm.
there's a range of issues that dude is following. His policies are probably going to have a significant impact on American politics because he's the Speaker of the House, right? He's a powerful ally of your boy, Mr. Trump,
mhm.
and he's expected to lead a more conservative House. So, Ace, tell our listeners about MJ.
I mean, you know, Mike Johnson is don't get it twisted. He's a MAGA Republican. He may be now the MAGA Republican. You know what I'm saying? And that's dude's now 2 heartbeats away from the presidency, meaning that if something happens to, lo and behold, Joe Biden and Kamala, he'd be the next guy up. Little scary because of this dude's beliefs. I mean, if you paid attention or you're listening or you read anything about him, he's the guy that kind of orchestrated the election deniers run. He wrote the law on it. He's the guy that went to court for it. I mean, so he really believes the election was rigged, or he at least wants us to believe that. And I always have a question on that because, like, how you gonna believe that? You just got to elect the Speaker of the House. Is that one rigged too? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
You don't believe in
Right.
elections, but
Yeah,
hey, you
yours
know,
is real.
but yours is good. You know what I'm saying? Everything's
Mhm.
right with yours. But nonetheless, just know who the Republican Party got in bed with when they got a Speaker of the House now. Kind of out of desperation, they took the next guy up and passed him through. Well, we thought Jim Jordan was going to be bad. This dude is
Mhm.
like Jim Jordan on steroids. You know what I'm saying? He just wears a suit and looks a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Talks a little bit better. But don't get it twisted. MAGA Republican, far right Republican. Don't let the adoption of the black son fool you, Republican.
Yeah, I was just about
You
to
know what
ask
I'm
you about
saying?
that
So
adoption of the black
so
son.
and you know, and here's the deal. I understand American politics, and they had to elect somebody and get
Right.
somebody there, but they couldn't get a moderate in there. They were trying to do that with some of the guys, and then Jim Jordan just got too many enemies, which we wouldn't have been happy if he was here either. But this dude is kind of an undercover guy, and we're gonna see. I mean, we can see what some of the policies he's trying to do, and some of the things he's trying to put out there. He's already trying to, you know, put the Democrats or put the, you know, hold the government hostage on certain things that's coming up, especially with this IRS situation that he's doing with the Ukrainian money. You know what I'm saying? So
You know
it's
what
gonna
he
be
said?
interesting.
Did you see what he said?
What'd he say?
He said adopting his black son kept his son out of prison.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
So what about the million of other black people that don't got white parents that don't go to
Okay.
prison?
I was
What
gonna
kept
say,
us out of prison?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, you know,
He's an ass.
yeah, well, they got
I don't
another, they
like
got
him.
another word for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I
He's-
said, man, like no, this dude is he's what you think he is. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it wrong. And w- it's gonna be crazy, man. I don't know how this government's gonna run now. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, like the government's supposed to be set up to where they agree to disagree. Your side can't win all the time. You know what I'm saying? You gotta it's set up to where you have to compromise. And unfortunately the Republican Party don't believe that anymore. So they do things even if it's detrimental to the country to try to get, you know, get their way. And a lot of times it doesn't work. And this guy's going to push that agenda all the way. So it's going to be, I don't know what we're going to get accomplished out of the government now with this guy being Speaker of the House.
What are some of his policies or some of his like voting history?
Yeah, because I looked at his history and I just said, oh my God.
Yeah.
we're in trouble.
Okay.
So on Forbes, just to let you know, you can go view this information. You can actually check and see once again who you vote for or who your representative or whoever is in office as far as their voting record and their policies that they stand on. First, he stated he wants to put America's first, the woke liberal agenda of putting Americans last. Again, if you want to talk about division, that's right there. That's just saying, like, if you're liberal, right, or you believe in being woke, which is nothing wrong with being awake and being aware that you're not an American all of a sudden. So I already got a problem with him just by his statements. But some of the issues or positions that he voted no to. So he voted against the it's called HR 1280, the George Floyd Justice in Place Act of 2021. He voted no.
Yeah.
Supports increasing defense spending? Yes. Do you support federal spending as a means supporting or promoting economic wealth for your individuals or growth? He voted no. He voted no, y'all. Okay.
He
So
don't
that
want,
impact.
he
You
don't
don't
want
want
us
to
to grow.
No, he talking
Okay.
about Americans. You're gonna help the people. You're not helping the people. You don't want to help the people. You voted no. Supports providing financial relief to large corporations. Guess what he voted? Can you make a vote?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So if you're a corporation, he's your man. All right. Do you support government funding for the development of renewable energy?
No.
No. He doesn't believe in solar wind. He doesn't want that. Federal regulation of greenhouse gas emissions. What do you think?
Regulation of greenhouse gas? No.
No. Generally support gun control legislation. What do you think?
No.
All of them babies dying. You think he wants gun control? And this is like common, like the ones that are bipartisan. He still voted no against. What else? Parents' Bill of Rights. Guess what? He's a co-sponsor of that. So if you're for vouchers, then yes, he's your man as well. Presidential tax filings and audit transparency. Listen what I just said. Residential tax filings and residential is residential.
Okay.
Sorry. Residential tax filings and audit transparency. So basically, you know, like if we get audited, we have that's information that you have to, but it's for presidents or any of the representatives, do you think they should also have to show their
Yes,
tax?
they should.
Well, guess what he voted?
Of course, no, because he
No.
knew he was gonna be somewhere in there, and he's
Exactly.
gonna be crooked like his friend Donnie.
So he's telling you, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do. Law enforcement de-escalation training. Guess what he voted?
He said no.
He said no. Y'all, Reed, please go back and again check me on my facts because I'm all with it.
But everything that
this is information.
he's voting no on it is all conservative.
Yeah, that's all.
value.
That's
This is all
That's all
expected.
Republican.
This is all
stuff.
expected of him.
Mental health matters.
No.
Is that a Republican or Democratic view of mental health? Didn't everybody think mental health is an issue?
I think that they don't want it
That's
to be tied to guns. So if he says mental health, then he's gonna say probably no.
No.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Because it's a
Yeah.
conservative value.
And
No, I'm just saying, but yeah, he's what you're reading there, that's gonna be
that's not a Republican. I don't think so.
No,
That
no,
was
I'm just
a
saying, but a
humanitarian.
lot of things that you're reading on, like not the gun laws and all that. That's typical. You'd expect a Republican congressman to vote that way. I mean,
No, I don't. I don't. You tell me
You're too logical. You're too smart.
Doesn't
Okay?
make sense. Right to Contraception Act. He voted
no.
no. So how does a woman align herself as a Republican? I'm sorry. Like
and
you,
he's
everything's no.
probably pro-life though.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's no.
You know what I'm saying?
You can.
You
no,
can
no,
be
you can be
pro-life,
pro-life and
but
believe
still wanna-
contraception. I'm sorry.
Look,
I
I
don't
You
want
don't want to
y'all
stop
to
that
have
sperm.
babies.
y'all are
You don't
talking
want to
about
stop that sperm on a
Yeah.
baby.
y'all are talking about a far right wing Republican. Yeah, you don't agree with him because you're liberal, so you're not supposed to agree with
I'm
him.
progressive.
Okay. Left-Wing Kingz.
I'm
Look where
liberal,
we're at, you know what I'm saying?
But I don't understand how people align themselves where as a Republican, if you understand the difference between a Democrat and Republican, once again, they believe in Republicans supposed to be right, less government. Okay,
Mhm.
less, right?
Right.
Am I right? Am I saying that wrong? Just check me
You're
or
right.
not.
No,
Okay,
you're
so that's
right.
government. So why in the world are you telling people how to do with their bodies and stuff as a female or a contraceptive? I don't understand that logic. How are you on this end and say, no, we don't need government. We want to states rule, do what you want. But none of this is that. It's all sense of control. So that's why I guess I don't understand.
This
I
ain't your
don't-
grandfather's
the
Republican
foundation.
Party. though.
Yeah.
This
I-
ain't
I
don't
GOP, this
understand
GOP
either.
now.
You know what I mean?
And
I'm very
him
confused.
as a foster parent, he adopted. So he knows that there's an overwhelming amount of children in our country
Right.
that do not have parents for whatever reason. They died, some of them were unfit, they're
Mhm.
on drugs, whatever the reason. That does not make sense to me. Why would you want people with mental health problems, drug issues to keep procreating because you're taking away their right to contraception? And now we have all these kids that guess
Nobody
what?
wants.
It's gonna cost the state and the feds money
They don't
to
care
take
about
care
all
of.
that. They want to keep the majority so they
You
can have
know,
political power.
in Texas, that I know for Texas, I don't know any other states. If you age out in the foster care system, you have a free ride to any Texas
School.
university.
Period. You get free education, but a lot of them
Free
don't
education.
understand that and know that because whatever
We're
his
gonna-
name is, then
we're gonna
come
leave
save
you
him.
in foster care in these crazy little houses. And my family fosters. We have I have an adopted niece, and then we fostered Miss Black USA. She was our foster kid.
yeah.
So I mean, Miss Black San Antonio.
Right.
She was our foster kid. So that's why I know so much about the foster care.
Mhm.
And in Texas alone, the amount of brown skin foster kids is
Mhm.
overwhelming. So
Yeah.
I know like the little group homes they have to stay in, and I know how overcrowded they are. They don't get the mental health because some of them are there because they were abused.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then they age out. They don't use their free ride because they don't have nobody telling them, hey,
About education.
yeah, education is good. Yeah, you were in the foster care, but guess what you can be
Do.
as an adult? Nobody's doing that for
Mm-mm.
them.
Right.
And that's because of dummies like him voting against stuff like this. They
Right.
want to tell us what to do with our body, but you don't
Mhm.
want to help
Mhm.
the overwhelming population of foster kids in all states, because it's bad. And it's
Every
bad in New
state.
York
Yeah.
right now because of the immigrants. They pushing all them immigrants over to New York.
Yeah. Well, before we keep talking about MAGA Mike, I want to remind everybody that
That's what it is.
yeah,
I love
and if
it.
you like this conversation, please make sure that you like this video. Also, make sure that you subscribe for more content. Wanda, were you going to say something?
Yeah, just two more. So tell me on this one. So freedom to vote, the John Lewis Act with your black son. Will he vote? Will he vote?
It's your black
Girl,
son.
we know he ain't vote for that.
No,
Wanda, like,
No,
We
like
know.
no, like I know, I don't understand. Okay,
They
protecting.
trying to control. Oh, come on. Oh man, we talk about this on. This ain't the show for this because we talk about this on every show. How they trying to manipulate the vote? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, Protecting Our Democracy Act.
Come on, you already know how you vote on that.
No, why are you representing us? And it's supposed to be a democracy, but you don't even Protecting Our Democracy Act.
Republicans-
You voted no. Like
He
Because
probably
you
also
doing?
denies this January 6th thing. Like,
okay.
I can't. It'd be stressed. I had to stop.
I know you
said I
gotta
can't.
stop because I know where your views stand. But how you surprised about that guy? Like we just said, this guy's he is a MAGA Republican
So why is he MAGA Mike? Why do they call him that?
You need to copy
because
that.
he's in bed with Trump. I mean, pretty much
Oh,
anything that Trump stands on, he stands with it and supports it. He's been like that ever since. That's what I'm saying. You reading this thing like I was gonna be surprised that he voted another way. Like everything you
Look.
read, I already knew he was gonna vote that
I
way.
guess
on
it just makes me angry.
That should make you angry.
It just
They
makes
want to
me
get
angry.
This guy
Trump
just
back
speaking
in
of house.
office so he can be a dictator. Trump's that's what they want. They want to be dictators. They want to get rid of the Hispanics and they want to get rid of
Well, I mean,
black
that's
people.
the thing you talk
They
about.
want them
you talk
blonde
about
hair,
the
blue eyed
democracy.
people's walking around.
Well, they want to blow it up and start it
Yeah.
all over again. It's basically what
Right.
they're trying to do, and that's
I don't know how you vote against the very thing that you're supposed to represent. I guess that's why I'm like,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you
Why?
got in
Doesn't make
office
sense.
because of it. You know what
You're
I'm saying? You got in office because of democracy, but you don't really believe in it.
right.
And you want to put it in, you're putting us in a situation where you're saying that one person can we're going to listen to one person and how they dictate things. Well,
Right.
that's Germany 1944.
Right, right.
If you look at the parallels, and anybody wants to be interested in history, which they're trying to block,
Right.
it's scary on how
Mhm.
the parallels are. I mean, but that's just human nature, man. And this guy, I'm not, you're not surprised me on anything that he votes on. He's MAGA Mike, and that's the reason he's
Right.
what he is. Everything that this country's kind of built on, he wants to pick and choose, or that they
Mhm.
want to pick and choose what works for them for their
Right.
own personal agendas.
Well, what cracks me up too is the past few speakers. I'm looking at the states they come from. So we have little turtle over there. What was he? Kentucky. You know what I mean? I'm like, where are these places? He's Louisiana. Look up Louisiana's education rates. Look up Louisiana, how they're doing in healthcare. Look at Louisiana. I am like, I'm like, why do we
Now you
get these
call him
people
a
to
dummy.
represent? Well, I didn't say he was dumb. He's a lawyer. He's smart. I mean, he's not. I mean, he's
Yeah.
smart to get there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, but you stepping on the necks of the small person and then trying to, fake the funk and say you're for them. Just be honest. Say you're an elitist. This you for corporations. This is what you do. Whoop de whoop. These people still gonna vote for you because they're not educated enough to know that they're not for them. But I just wish people would be more real. I guess it just frustrates me because they always talk about I'm for the people. I'm trying to help the middle class. I'm trying to help. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not. It's okay. You're not.
Be honest
Be
about
honest.
it.
Let's just
Look.
keep it real. Let's just play. You want to
'Cause
play? Let's play.
Yeah, there's dummies out there that
That
are
are
middle
gonna vote
class
for you.
that
Yeah.
are going to vote for you
Yeah.
anyway. So just be honest.
Just be honest. I think that's just what really frustrates me when you say you run on a platform, but you know good and well that's not what you're trying to
Well,
represent.
this guy's
that's
making,
not who you are.
This guy's making McCarthy look good. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So,
And politics and honesty don't go together.
True. That's why every time you should run, you should do this when you get out. And I said, no, I'm very political aware and I like to participate, but I'm not. My moral compass is just in a different direction. I can't get on board, with some of the crazy, but I get it. I mean, that's who you are. Just represent. And he's only 51 years old. So he's young. Like he's
And
not
gonna
no
be in there forever.
boomer. Yeah. So he's gonna ride it out. He over there trying to make that money. Go ahead, MAGA Mike. I'm gonna call him that now, MAGA Mike.
I'm telling y'all need to copyright that.
well, we don't call them that.
I think the House of Representatives been calling them that.
Oh, really?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they call him that. They're like, like I said, this dude, he wrote the legislation behind election denying. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
funny because
he was a co-sponsor for that.
because the pundits pretty much believe this move handed the Democrats the House in the next election because it's like it's going to be easy just for the Democrats to put his picture up and say,
this is what you
either
want.
voting for us or you voting for this guy.
Mhm.
MAGA Mike. You know what I'm saying? So it's
That's
going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see. But let's hope by now and then they just don't throw us into the stalemate that they've been doing with us.
Right.
And withholding funds and doing craziness and
Crazy.
Let's hope that along with the Supreme Court, which is a whole other big mess, that things just don't
I
go out
can't
of hand.
even deal with the Supreme Court and them women on that.
Boy, Kerry's on here. Turn of
Yeah.
manhood.
K-Zach.
It says politicians are a mouthpiece for special interest groups.
Pretty much.
They are. The
And
lobbying they do.
Right. We can look at what he said no to, and then again, depends on your education level. You can figure out what's his interest. If it's anything with corporations and money, he's getting his pockets fat. And
Mhm.
sorry, you small people, y'all chipping in your little $2, $5. He don't want that little $2 and $5. He's trying to make money.
Mhm.
That's what they do. Okay, the last one though, Inflation Reduction Act.
Oh, he voted against that.
But I don't get y'all mad at Biden talking about inflation. He tries to do something, but then you vote against
Nah,
it.
because Biden is running that. That's why they can't let Biden.
So you can't let Biden get any win.
let him
That's what I'm
solve it.
learning. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so if he says something that's even good and beneficial, you're still going to vote against it just because it's not your party putting
Mhm.
it forward?
Mhm.
Is that where we're at? Okay.
Mhm.
Basically.
Right.
And then
like,
when
it doesn't matter.
when
Yeah.
Biden gets out, then they're gonna push it forward. Watch.
Right. And then
Mhm.
it's like, oh, we said, but he said that he tried to do, so it was wrong when he said it. But now, and I'm with that
And-
with either one of them. Like if it's something is good, it's good. That's why I like with the voting, they don't put, I could tell you what bill was put before by whom, because I think that would sway your vote sometimes. Because there's some things on here on the ballot that Republicans, it's a Republican co-sponsored bill, but you don't
Of
know that. You're
course.
just
Yeah.
voting. And that's how you should vote. Just
Mhm.
tell me what it is, give me the information, and let me go from there.
So speaking of voting,
Good
there's a vote that's going on right now, November 7th. And we all want to make sure everybody gets out there and votes because voting is a fundamental part of our democracy. And we should all be participating in the electoral process. If you're not, please consider doing it. I mean, the more votes, the better. Because there's a lot of voter suppression, right?
Especially
There's
in
laws that
Texas.
they're putting in place that makes it harder for any eligible American to vote. And then
Mhm. The
once we get in
disabled.
there and vote, it's hard to understand what you're voting for half the time because when they have
Of the
propositions,
language.
things like
Mhm.
that, they use legal jargon and other
Mhm.
language that makes it kind of hard.
And double negatives.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
So, Walanda, you
Yeah.
brought that up. You got the
Yeah.
sheet there in front of you. Can you talk to us a little bit about
I don't know
the
if they can
Bear
see that.
County vote?
This is your sample ballot. Okay. And on here, there's 14 for, at least for Bear County, there's 14 propositions that are on here.
They're for the Texas State
Texas State.
Constitution.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I really want to emphasize this because this is the Constitution. So this is our law, what we follow. So that's why we're able to vote on these propositions. Now, I'll be honest, I consider myself very educated, and I am based upon what they have told me as far as educated means. And I had to read some of these multiple times to actually be able to understand the legal jargon that comes with this and what is it asking. It's sad when you go into make a trying to make a, I know we say vote, but now to me it's like you got to make an educated vote. You can't just be voting, right? You just don't want to be blindsided and just, oh, okay, yeah, I think it sounds good. You want information to be able to make a sound decision on that. So on these propositions, there's some on here that I still don't quite understand. So I can tell you what it is, but I don't know what it is. So try to go in.
Which one?
research. Like
Hey,
proposition.
I can say it, but I can't spell it.
Right.
There you go.
The ad valorem one. Like I keep
Oh,
reading
yeah.
it over and over and over again. So the state of Texas Proposition 4, it says the constitutional amendment to authorize the legislator to establish a temporary limit on the maximum appraised value of real property other than a resident's homestead for ad valorem tax purposes, to increase the amount of the exemption form ad valorem taxation by a school district applicable to residents' homesteads from $40,000 to $100,000, to adjust the amount of the limitation on school district and valorem taxes imposed on the resident homesteads of the elderly or disabled to reflect increases in certain exemption amounts, to accept certain appropriations to pay for ad valorem tax relief from the constitutional limitation on the rate of growth of appropriations, and to authorize the legislator to provide for a 4th term of office for a member of the board of directors of certain appraisal districts. What did I just say?
You said a
A
lot.
whole
You
bunch
lost
of
me after like
words
the
together.
third
Thank you.
sentence.
But that's what you're
she's a
voting
school
on.
principal too.
You know,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
like
It's
I'm sorry, y'all.
it's just-
I ain't dumb. You can call me dumb if you want to, but I promise you, pretty educated. But first of all, I learned there's 3 things in there. If you really stop and listen, you are voting for multiple things. The biggest one to me was about the board of directors. They are trying to authorize the legislature to provide for a 4-year office for a member. So meaning after 4 years, you're done. That's what I got.
Mhm.
Like,
I'm
and
okay
then the
with that.
school district trying to limit, I think, as far as my interpretation of this is how much that school districts, I don't know if y'all know that they pay an extremely large amount. It looks like they're always asking for money, right?
Right.
The reason they're always, let me put it in layman's terms, they're asking for all this money because the state is withholding money, right? So the only way that they can start and keep being operational is to raise the taxes on your home. They don't want to do that because the state won't step in because they're holding the purse and they just use education. Yeah, we're funding education. No, you're not. They're not funding education. I promise you that. So basically what they use is they keep asking for the rate of the percentage on your home to keep, paying for taxes. And this one to me sounds like they're trying to limit that amount.
Didn't
saying
they
that right?
approve
Mhm.
the Texas lottery
Don't even get me
to
started. That's
help
another story. Yes.
fund education?
Yes, that's where it's supposed to go. Where does it go? I don't know. To me, you
They don't
should
go to
write your
me.
legislators and you should ask them for that information. I said, I thought all that information is supposed to be where you have to share it, right?
Right.
I've never seen that. Everybody asks that all the time. What happens? I don't know. But all I can tell you, the governor holds the purse. If he doesn't get what he wants, he will continue to do so. So that's the proposition 4 that
Damn
I
Abbott.
still,
Yeah.
oh, it's Abbott. Yes. I still don't
Somebody needs to push him
understand
in
that
the
one
traffic.
quite well. And I kept researching. Tell them about that the website that we did say the YouTube. I would go there and get some information too. I would look at multiple sources because that's a lot, y'all. How do I supposed to vote on that?
Yeah.
So there's just to kind of answer what you were talking about. There's a YouTube channel and then we found this channel a few years back, and we watch it from time to time whenever there's an election. It's called the League of Women Voters of Texas. They have a YouTube channel, and what they specialize in doing is they create a video, and they basically tell you in layman's terms what these propositions are, what this particular political person's stance is, and they not only tell you the proposition, they tell you why people are for it and then why people are against it. So you understand, like, they're very neutral. They're not like saying, hey, well, you need to do it because of this. They're like, okay, here's the reasons for, here's the reasons against. You take that, you vote however the hell you want, right?
So they're breaking it down.
Yeah, they break it down. Like for each one of the propositions, they had a video for it. Every single one. We watched like 6 or 7 of them. Now, we watched them after the fact because we forgot to watch them before we went to go vote. But that's something that
a lot.
Anybody that's trying to figure out, like, because when we were in there voting, there was this lady, and she was like, she said, "Excuse me, sir, like one of the election people, can you help me understand what this proposition means?" He's like, "Man, we're not allowed to talk to you about the vote because it could be seen as we're influencing you to vote one way or another." This woman was sad. She was like, "I really don't understand what this is saying, and I'm trying to vote." You know what I'm saying? So
sad.
if she would have known to kind of watch these videos break it down. It makes it very simple to you.
Right.
And as we watched it, I was like, okay, well, maybe, I voted right on that one. I voted what I really wanted to vote. Or dang, I missed this on this one. Maybe I didn't. And you read all of that, there's even more sometimes on some of these things. And they like break down even stuff that's not on that piece of paper.
Right.
It's like, this is part of the proposition too. And you're like, that wasn't even on the paper.
Yeah. But it was inferred. And if you don't
basically
get it,
and
you
your
don't get it.
educator are having problems with this. Hello, state, just to let you know, your educator having problems voting. That's a problem in itself.
So,
I really did. I still kind of don't understand that one. So I hope I did in the best interest of everybody else. But I really, some of it you don't understand the jargon.
Yeah, I think when it comes down to it, man, it's just they complicate things for a reason.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of things they slide in, and one, they don't want us to go vote in the first place. They just want you to say, well, I mean, I ain't gonna go down there.
And that's probably what's going to happen with that lady. She's probably not going to vote now because she don't want to make the wrong decision.
I reiterate this to a lot of people, and they need to understand when it comes to state and local laws, those are the ones that affect your life directly.
Yep.
Right.
And that you talking about high taxes, inflation, and stuff like that. Listen, what we do in Texas, they don't do in Illinois.
Right.
And that's affected by your state and local taxes and stuff. So
Texas acts like its own country.
Yeah. So you got to be on it, man. So when they write things like that, look at, man, when she started reading that, I turned off first 3-4 words. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to read all that, especially if I go, I've seen that yellow paper in voting things. I've never picked that up and read that. You know what I'm saying? Not at all. It's just too much.
It's too late.
Yeah.
By the time you get in there.
Yeah.
And why is it just at the voting places? Why aren't they mailing this when they're rich? you know,
They don't
they
want
should be.
you to-
They don't want you to
mailing it.
vote.
They
Why
don't
isn't
want
it
you
on
to
the
vote.
media?
They
That should
don't
be on the
want you
news
to
every day.
understand that,
Yes.
and a lot of what you get slid
Yep.
through, and you understand it gets slid through on these propositions and stuff like that. And a lot of times, what it is, they'll cookie cut it or tell you something that you really want, and then they will put
Yep.
that on the news and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not telling you down the line if you vote yes, what you're voting for. If you vote no, what you're voting for. But they'll tell you exactly like I remember the last one we had in May. Oh yeah, we're gonna legalize marijuana, and they put that out there. But they didn't tell you on the backside a lot of the things that were coming with it. They weren't gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, and the sad thing about this is our Constitution. So this is something we, you know, this is really law. And I was like, these are so important, and I don't think people understand the importance of them. And some, again, don't really directly impact us, but some things on here do. The Proposition 9, okay, of course, everybody knows I'm in education, so I hold it dear. But that's the one about the cost of living adjustment for our retirees. So people always, I'm not sure if they understand. So educators paying a teacher retirement system, right? Not the same thing as,
TSP.
right. So we get a pension, and a pension is different. Am I correct by saying that? So we basically pay for the rest of our lives, right? Which
as
sounds
we
great,
should.
right? Sounds great, you know, but you got to think, if your inflation goes up and your cost of living goes up and you just getting a $2,700 check every month, right? How do those people survive?
Right.
They are not. Your retired teachers, a lot of them gone back in the classroom, or you see them subbing. Because they don't have a choice. They literally can't live. Literally work 20 plus years of their whole life given to you and your bad kids. Some of your kids is bad, you know, but now they can't live.
who you are.
You know who you are.
I would definitely be for
so
that.
that's Proposition 9. So most people would be, right? Like,
Right.
why would I not?
If the government gets a raise, the retired teachers need to get that same raise.
This is a crazy thing, though. It doesn't impact your taxes. So just to let y'all know, y'all ain't paying for it. The state already has the surplus money. They've been had the money. They've been withholding the money. And now in the Constitution, you got to vote to get them to get their own money. Like, this is insane to me. But this is where we're at. So Proposition 9, yes, it does hold very near and dear. And again, I get it. Everybody into education, but most of you have been impacted by one way or the other. Your family member is a teacher, your kids, if you care about anybody. Otherwise, y'all gonna be, I'm telling you, homeschool coming, because
why do
they're
we
dumb.
have to
Nobody want
make
that to come
a
back.
constitutional amendment to do the right thing?
Because your governor ain't gonna do the right thing.
Because the
That
law
is
already says
so-
the
It's
law
sad.
is already saying that you can't do the right thing. So you
Right.
got to have a law to correct that.
To correct it.
Right.
It's an amendment authorizing the 88th legislature to provide a cost of living adjustment to certain annuitants of the teacher retirement system of Texas.
Whatever that means.
Basically giving them their money they already supposed to give them in the first place.
Yeah, that's
Well,
all they
I
have
But
to
that,
say.
you know,
Yeah.
in layman's terms, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is sad that that's even a proposition. Like,
Yeah.
that's something I'm with Tina. Like, why are we having to do the things that we should do? The broadband one is on
Yeah,
here.
that one I thought was funny.
Um,
I was like, we got to make a constitutional amendment to get people in rural areas internet service.
Yeah.
These internet companies don't want to go out there and do that because it's the right thing to do. That's that big
I
money
think that's
right there.
allocating that money for it.
Mhm.
Basically what it is.
Let me tell y'all what the right thing to do is. Like this video and subscribe.
Okay.
That's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Share it also.
Thank you, Tina. Share it, like it,
Yeah,
subscribe.
they even got some things in there mentioning renewable energy, which you know
that's
that's the wave of the future. But all of that is so they can, you know, they can pass these laws so they can allocate the money that they want to be. But guess what? If you a simple contractor, like you, a guy that puts up the
Solar
towers
panels.
or whatever for cellular phones, you know, are you aware of this? Are you gonna go down there and vote? Because it's probably gonna impact your life.
Yeah,
Right. That's
probably
the
give you more
Proposition
work
7.
to help you.
Mhm.
You know,
But what happened to the? Can you hear me now?
No,
That commercial he was in the ding desert. Can you hear me now?
and Spectrum
What year was
One.
that? Jay?
Yeah.
That was before the iPhone, wasn't it? Can you hear me? now?
Yeah. So we're how far behind are we that we got to make
We're
a
so behind.
constitutional
Yeah, that's
But here's the
Proposition
thing,
7.
man.
to be able to hear me
it's
now?
not. I don't think it's an amendment. I think once again they're
No,
doing that
it's-
so they can allocate the money.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I kind of want to get back on base with this part of the conversation. Is like our whole, to your point, Adrian. I don't think that we as a country care about voting, and we don't not individuals. I think the people in power don't care whether we vote or not, and I think we're doing voting wrong.
Yeah.
Like, first and foremost, as soon as I would say Barack Obama became president, when everybody came out the woodwork and voted,
Mhm.
and we had the most people voting ever, and then we had the most people voting ever again when Trump and Biden went out there. There's been conversation around voter suppression laws.
Yeah.
Right.
They're like, there's too many people. Oh shit, too many people voting. We got to fix this shit
Yeah.
because now popular people who have good ideas are winning.
Yeah.
And we don't want that. We want the public to just go to sleep.
Well,
We want them to get this yellow paper and be confused.
Yeah.
We don't want them to know. We want to make this long, drawn out thing so that after the third sentence, Ace and Malik say, fuck this piece of paper. You know what I'm saying?
Turn on ESPN and shit.
Right, that's what they want. How can we improve the voting process? I think that's an important part of it because we're doing it wrong. We're putting a piece of paper out.
Yeah.
We don't share information. We got to find YouTube channels that
To-
will
to
tell
break
us
it down.
about the vote.
Mhm.
What the hell can we do?
I will just say this, like, be more informed. And I am proud and shout out, to my district, because now I'm noticing that that's what people up there are starting to think, like our districts. And now you see, and I don't know if y'all noticed, but superintendents used to be quiet. We weren't allowed to talk about politics. Now they're kind of like, well, you can say this, what I mean?
Oh.
Like talking about it more, where he has like videos showing about certain information, because that is part of the problem. People don't have the information. They can't make a sound decision, right? Based upon information they don't have. So now people are, talking more. It used to be like, I can't go to school and talk about my political views. And I don't do that regardless. But you can share information. A lot of people don't even know who controls, again, how money flows. So I was like, that's your governor. Like, who are you mad at? Well, the district. You mad at a district? They ain't got no money. That's not how they get money. Like, the ignorance is there, and it's okay to say that. I don't understand how it works.
Yeah.
Well, go find some information to figure that out.
You remember when y'all's friend got elected and so many people did not understand how the electoral college worked because the people were out there voting against him, but
he didn't win the popular vote.
No. Oh, let's just tell you that. Oh, I went through that too.
That's like fifth grade. Fifth grade.
Yeah, they learn early.
Like electoral college. So,
but guess who? Only presidents, that have the only people who've been president who didn't win the popular vote but win the electoral college. Guess what party they represent?
They've been
the
Republicans.
We know.
I mean,
that was Bush, that was Trump.
That was. I'm like, hello, like, come on, can we think about this, people? So the majority of the people are not voting these people in the electoral colleges, and that's where it goes to. I get it. States have to have a representation and blah 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 blah. But there's a different way of doing things now. We used to have to do that.
We're trying to manipulate the electoral college now.
Yeah. We gotta watch who we elect into our own states.
Your representatives.
Well, that's what Trump's going to. It's one of his cases right now, is trying to manipulate the electoral college, sending in fake electors. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, because they can't identify themselves too. Do you know that? Like, you can't. You're not supposed to know who they are, and it's supposed to be a big old secret. So nobody comes and tries to
kill them.
I don't think people understand how crazy that is.
Yeah.
In Georgia, he sent in just a whole group of people and said they
pretend
were
to be somebody they're not.
To try to.
So who's trying to cheat?
Manipulate, defend himself on that shit.
Manipulate the vote. Like, they had a whole thing.
But the Republicans can do that.
No, I mean, but they turning on them because Sidney Powell and all the people that are involved with that. Yeah, man, they done turned state's evidence on them. I mean, for real. Cheeseboro.
See, I didn't know he was doing that.
I didn't know. That's crazy. That's the Georgia case.
Wow.
Yeah, and what he did is he went to a small. It was called, I think it's Coffee, Georgia, but a small county, and that's what he tried to do it where he thought nobody was gonna see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, man.
That's why. And I think about when me and Malik always have conversations about that. And he always says, I think because they think that we cheat. So that's why they cheat. You know what I'm saying? Because I'd be crazy. I was like, why does that happen? Do you think you do these things because you think somebody else
we're cheaters because they're cheating?
Like that has to be.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're like, well, you must be cheating too. No, nigga, I'm not. I'm sorry. You just made that decision.
Right.
You crook.
But man, like, how, like, and that's what I'm saying. And back to, we were talking about MAGA Mike, like, he's in cahoots with that.
He's cool with it.
Like, he's okay.
He's defending it.
He was trying to find the law and loopholes to get over.
Make it okay.
That. That's what the Speaker of the House is. Like, not only the guy who believes it, but he's the guy who's actually in there writing the law.
Right.
But I think we didn't know that because he was quiet. See, he was smart. So the reason I say he was smart, because a lot of people were like, we're going to vote for him because we don't know anything about him.
Yeah, because he's
quiet.
He didn't have no controversy up front. Now all his controversy is coming out.
I think
Yeah.
it was all set up to play like that. To be honest with you,
Really, let's put him forward because that's where the focus is.
Do
and
you
then
think they
we'll
used
slide 'em
Trump
in?
as a smokescreen when they were trying to make Trump the Speaker of the House? Made
Trump.
that as a
No,
yeah,
I think
and
it was
then they
Jim-
got
well, they
him
couldn't
in
do that
there.
with Trump. I think it was Jim Jordan.
Yeah.
I think they knew they weren't going to bring in Jim Jordan, and I think that they were just going to exhaust the caucus to the point where they just said, "Well, we got to put
Right.
somebody in
Retired.
there.
But
Let's bring up this guy."
yeah, but when it comes to voting, right, I want to kind of turn our attention back to that. I think first and foremost, we got to do our research. We got the internet, man. If we can look up TikTok
Yes.
videos,
Okay.
and we can look up all this other stuff, we can look up what is on the ballot and what we need to vote for. Do our research so that we go in there prepared before we vote. Voting is important, right? If you get all your ducks in a row before you do your taxes every year, if you get all your ducks in a row before you go shopping, you make a shopping list, the least you can freaking do is get your ducks in a row
Facts.
before you vote. Okay?
Yeah.
Mhm.
People want to put all this attention and all this other small shit. This is big, but we don't do our due diligence to understand what we're voting on to get in there and vote correctly. First thing, do your research. All right. If you're going to do that, do that. Second thing, when you do your research and you understand the vote, make sure you're voting against things to suppress voting. There's a bunch of voter suppression laws that are out there that people that probably don't even understand. And like you said, Adrian, and like you said, Walanda, once you get past the first paragraph, there's other stuff behind that that you don't even know you voting for. You know what I'm saying?
Riders.
And
Riders,
they stack
all
it.
type of extra shit.
Yeah,
They stack.
Mhm.
You got to have a full awareness of everything that you're voting for so that you don't go in there and make a mistake. And that's what makes people afraid to vote, because they're like, I'm going to make a mistake and I might vote for the wrong thing. So we have to stop voter suppression. We have to be educated on what's on the ballot, and we have to go vote. The worst thing I saw yesterday on CNN was a story about this black kid who was going around the neighborhood and talking to people about voting. And he was in a black neighborhood. Most of the people on there saying, I'm not voting this year. I'm not voting. I don't want to vote. I don't want to be part of that. I don't care about voting no more. Blah, blah, blah. Just showing what CNN wants you to see. Right. I didn't see every house the man went to, but he's like a little kid. He's like 18, 16 years old, going to these houses, and people are telling him they're not going to vote.
Trying to
I'm like,
build
damn.
voter awareness.
Yeah,
to
he's trying
his
to build voter
community.
awareness, and these people are not gonna vote. And it is sad. Please, 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 even if you vote wrong, at least go vote.
Remember back in the day when people would come to your door and talk about voting? Did COVID wipe that out? Did that
No,
stop?
because that guy was at our
That
voting
white man
booth.
shooting that dude going to his house.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Okay.
he didn't go to our house, but there was a Republican representative who was at the voting.
Will Hurd came to our house
he
when
came
we
to
lived
Hurd.
around the corner.
I was so mad because I wasn't there.
Yeah. I
wanna
was there.
vote
I was like,
for him.
Will Hurd.
I don't know.
He used to be a representative.
I know,
He was
I know,
our,
I
he's
know
our
who the hell
congressional
Will Hurd
twin.
He's a Republican guy.
I wouldn't have
I
voted
know
for
He's
him,
Republican,
but
but he's not. He's
He's
conservative,
very-
but
he's
he's
moderate.
like
He's kinda
on
on the
fence to
line.
me.
He's
yeah,
moderate.
Will Hurd. I mean, whatever.
He's moderate. He's
I'll put it to you
He
like
like the
this.
skin tone.
I like him. I like Will Hurd from the perspective that
he at least he came though. He came to talk to
he
us.
came to talk to us, and he's not pro-Trump like that. He's
Oh, no,
I
Republican,
know
but he's
that.
not
Yeah,
pro-Trump.
I know that. I know.
And that I appreciate about him, that he stands up for his convictions. I appreciate that about anybody who stands up for what they believe in. So
Yeah. I mean, well, Will Hurd.
yeah, I'm just saying, let's just get out there, man. Get yourself prepared. To vote.
Yeah.
Voting is November 7th, y'all.
Yeah, because
Please,
now it's
you
closed.
got
early
a few
voting.
days to get yourself up to speed on whatever is on the ballot in your area.
I'm gonna be real with it, man. If you don't vote, then just shut up.
Yeah,
Let
Yeah,
me
I
say,
agree with
really.
that.
There.
Like if you
yeah.
don't vote,
You don't
You
get to be
don't-
part of the
your
have a
assignment
conversation.
say
don't
on
matter.
nothing. Like, don't even bring up a conversation. Don't talk about Trump.
Don't talk about
Don't
anybody.
talk about nothing. You ain't even in the game.
Mhm.
That's like let's take it to a game. That's like if you're sitting on the sideline, people playing basketball. Like nobody's trying to hear you calling out plays, nigga. Like you ain't in the game, and that's not voting right there. If you don't vote, right or wrong, if you don't vote, man, then you ain't got no say in it. Plain and simple. And understand that countries are ruled by two things: it's either the ballot or the bullet.
There
That's
you
it.
go.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
That's it.
That's it. Any country you're doing right now, they either gonna be ruled by a ballot or they're getting ruled by bullets. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So if you keep denying the ballot, guarantee you this country start getting ran by bullets. That's the
No
only
doubt.
way it goes because it's about
Yeah.
power. People
Mhm.
start starving and they alienated. They pick up a gun, bro. That's just
Mhm.
basically what's going to happen.
Mhm.
And they take it.
Yeah.
Look at history, and that's just basically what's going to tell you. So, unless DeSantis gets his way, then we won't even know what history is.
Yeah,
So,
that too.
Exactly.
So we got Joaquin is our district, and Joaquin Castro
Oh,
for Texas.
yeah, I know.
For
Mhm.
us, for
Mhm.
San Antonio area,
Mhm.
and he's going to be running against Tony Gonzalez, a Republican.
Yep.
Mm.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us for this live stream. I want to thank all of our listeners out there on Apple Music, Amazon, Google Podcast, Spotify, the whole nine. Everybody out there on the live stream on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you guys so much. I also want to thank my Queen Walanda for being here today.
You're welcome.
Queen Tina
You're welcome. It's
and
a pleasure.
King Ace.
Always.
All right. And we are going to take a break this week. So we're not going to have our live stream next weekend. We got some people going to be out of town doing some things, taking some time off to relax and enjoy themselves. But we will still have all some reels and things like that throughout the week. So keep an eye on the channel for more videos. And we will see you soon.
Thanks, Peter and Kazak, for joining.